A life hack is, in the real sense of the word, a system or method used to manage one's time and everyday tasks better. The purpose of a life hack is to enhance your life. Although it's a common saying that there are no shortcuts in life, we better buckle up since this video is going to prove those people wrong. Some people's egos are too enormous for them to accept assistance or constructive criticism. They believe that if they accept assistance from others, it will damage their reputation as self-made individuals. The truth is that no one is truly self-made. Utilize your possibilities and accept assistance if it's offered. Then lend a hand to others. In this video, we'll go over nearly 10 of our favorite shortcuts from the past few years. Number 1, choose the right path. Nobody has said yet, you know what, I desire worse for myself. But everyone works extremely hard because they all want to live better lives. Coal miners would have made the most money if the hard effort were the only option. Therefore, remember that this was your first actual shortcut. Programmers can be just one career choice. They're paid enormously, more than any other occupation. Statistics show that there just aren't enough programmers in the world. So how talented a developer or how hard you work is less important than being in the programming boat, because firms across industries need programmers right now. Find the right path and take your first shortcut, because this occurs everywhere you look. Another parameter to consider while choosing the right career path is this. When you need to alter anything, your career, where you reside, etc., you have 3 choices: downgrade, side grade, and upgrade. Downgrading involves reducing your standard of living and learning to live more modestly. Nevertheless, this is only worthwhile if it ultimately serves a higher goal. You're wasting your time if you side grade. The best choice is to upgrade. If you're forced to relocate, you might as well travel farther, because your new situation will determine whether you succeed or fail. Number 2, built to sell. It is about a business idea, but it also applies to individuals. Building a business to sell requires executing everything correctly, systematically, and neatly. Nobody wants to invest in an uncertain business. When you stop to think about it, you consistently sell yourself through your life to a job, to a partner, a brand new group of friends, and so on. It'll affect your professional and private connections, since like a business, no one wants to buy the unreliable, chaotic, and messy you. Always remember that how you carry yourself affects how other people approach you. Develop a selling mindset and doorways will quickly begin to pop open all the time. Number 3, avoid undertaking intractable tasks. Although doing one thing well is praiseworthy, it's ultimately of little value. For instance, working all night long with exceptional efficiency to complete that large project on time is amazing, but it's unimportant. What counts is the potential to scale. Scaling entails putting in the work once and receiving the reward repeatedly. For instance, an architect may design the blueprints for a pre-built house and sell the same project repeatedly. Or they may construct a single home for a single client at a time. Which one do you think is more profitable? Number 4, 1% more daily. People who can proudly proclaim, "I made it," do one thing that nobody else wants to do. They continuously perform uninteresting tasks. Look, starting a company or following your route is exciting. The question has a yes response. But just 20% of it is exciting, the rest is tedious and repetitive work. Get used to carrying out tiresome tasks as a life shortcut, because doing so will move you closer every day by 1%. By doing this, you'll find that you accomplish more in less time than other people. Number 5, personal education and awareness. The largest life choice is self-education. It generated the largest returns and the biggest leverage. A person with a lot of education can make connections between ideas that other people don't even see. Number 6, abuse the 80-20 rule. Building 10 adequate items is far quicker than creating one perfect item. You should already be aware of the 80-20 rule, which smart people use as their secret weapon to achieve success incredibly quickly. Basically, in almost everything, 20% of efforts yield 80% of the results. For instance, in a firm of 10, 2 individuals do the majority of the labor. Number 7, locate a mentor. Your best line of action can be determined with the assistance of a qualified mentor. What you're attempting to do, they've already done. They have witnessed it and they've seen it take place. They're aware of what works, and it's up to you to take the necessary action when the time comes, but they can point you in the proper direction. Therefore, you need to find someone who's already done whatever it is you're trying to do, be their friend, and be helpful. Or if that's not possible, act as a shadow mentee. Online knowledge and insight sharing are widespread among people, so adhere to them and absorb all the knowledge you can. You may also direct them to specific inquiries. Number 8, combine good habits. Find situations where your habits will benefit 2 causes at once. Consider that you desire to begin your education and enhance your health. Find your positive habits, whether they're ingrained in you or they're ones you wish you had. Then discover a hobby that addresses as many of them simultaneously, and you will succeed. Number 9, speak out when necessary. The loudest people often succeed rather than the most qualified. Because of this, you occasionally find incompetent individuals in positions of authority. They don't have any fear of being loud, either intentionally or unconsciously. Be courageous and assert yourself. Know your worth and behave accordingly. Remember that promotions are typically given to those who request them rather than necessarily to those who deserve them. The same applies to life. Let's consider an example that can help us feel better. One of our buddies is a self-employed digital artist who makes 6 figures annually. Through his network, he obtained the great bulk of his projects. To return to step 2 and grow to sell, he built his network by attending a variety of events relating to his profession and generally being a good person to chat with. When improvement is the only option, people advance very quickly. Make use of this to your benefit. Speaking out doesn't always involve a verbal exchange. Actions are self-explanatory sometimes. This brings to mind PewDiePie's recent move to Japan, where his pugs were a little bit too fat to board a commercial flight. So he acquired a jet. If you must play, make the move that will win the game. As they say, go hard or go home. Number 10, count everything. When you can't measure, you can't improve. End of story. A well-known saying states that logistics wins wars, not infantry. This says that using force to get something done won't work. You can always work out as hard as you can, but the only way to lose weight is through monitoring your caloric deficit. Locate the appropriate metrics and take aggressive measurements. When you're in for the money, it's natural that there's no work-life balance. You must temporarily sacrifice some aspects of your personal life if you wish to go quickly. Even though it may not be the deciding factor, hard labor is still implied. We're just being honest here, so it's entirely fine if this isn't for you. However, for anything that's quantifiable, having a team that keeps tabs on the financial angle of your ventures can be quite helpful. Thus, we also have a money-related shortcut for you. However, we're not referring to modest million-dollar loans. Rather, we're discussing instances in which you receive a promotion or your firm begins to grow. The most crucial action is to pay yourself last. So in conclusion, sincerity and kindness are so uncommon these days that when you encounter them, you're startled. The right action is always the appropriate action. There's a significant distinction between taking shortcuts and cutting corners. You can only make so many shortcuts before you start going around in circles. Invest everything in 2 areas. First, tools to increase leverage, and second, skills to increase expertise. You'll become speedier and you'll be able to scale thanks to the tools. Your baseline from which you start scaling is increased by competence. I recently spoke to an illustrator buddy who recently won a significant commission. He was debating whether or not to use some of that cash to get a larger, better sketching tablet. How are you spending the money right now? If your response is anything other than purchasing the tablet, you're mistaken. When the chance to invest in either tools or skills arises, always take it. There's no discussion. People have no trouble spending $500 on a pair of Jordans, but they cringe at the idea of spending $500 on themselves. Always put money into yourself because it has the biggest return. Please share, like, and subscribe to our channel if you like the recommendations. You can also share some useful life skills in the comments below. See you in the next one.